Et bien sûr, les unités que j'ai recrutées, je les ai retrouvées, bien sûr. Hein. J'ai retrouvé Petra, j'ai retrouvé Marianne, pas de soucis. Mais tous les autres, j'ai pas vu la maison jaune, j'ai pas vu les autres de la maison rouge. Et les profs non plus, je ne les ai pas vus. Pas encore, en tout cas. Voilà.
The kingdom must now supplement its meager forces. And so
voilà,
it requests reinforcements from Rodrigue, who is busy resisting Cornelia's
Donc on va aider Rodrigue, donc c'est le père de Félix. Et Cornelia, c'est la nouvelle régente du royaume, du coup. Voilà, nouveau Dimitri. Nouveau Félix.
Gilbert has filled me in on the details. He tells me you are in immediate need of additional troops.
Oui.
I would like to say that I will gather reinforcements and send them to the monastery at once. However, I cannot afford to leave the front lines for that long. Would you be willing to meet us south of Fraldaria's territory in ALL, the Valley of Torment? ALL is halfway between the monastery and our territory. There, I will deliver the soldiers you require.
D'accord. La vallée du tourment. On connaît?
ALL lies on the border between Kingdom territory and Alliance territory. Humans dare not approach that place.
He's right. In ALL, we can meet up with them without our enemy ever finding out.
Once my old man delivers his soldiers to us, then our war against the Empire can finally begin.
The path ahead will be a difficult one, Your Highness. Deadly, in all likelihood.
True. But what's the point in wavering now? Father, stepmother, Glenn, and even Dedu. I am certain this will bring them great joy. I know if I can just offer them Edelgard's head. I just know it.
Lune d'Azur, chapitre 15.
There's no reason to feign ignorance. I know all about.
C'est le même visage du villageois?
What are you talking about?
Just come here.
Professor, help!
Je t'aiderai.
Don't interfere. Just hand the girl over to me.
Oula. Bah, Daga Kotowaru.
I'm telling you this for your own good. You're putting yourself in danger by associating with her.
Non, je pars sur Annette. Ah, c'est vrai que le villageois il avait une barbe, c'est vrai. Mais dans ma run jaune. Ah, Marianne, sans hésitation.
The true identity of the wandering beast is that girl right there.
No, I would never.
Ningerundayo!
No matter. I'll get the evidence I need.
My apologies for getting you involved in that.
Que se passe-t-il?
In truth, that man has been following me ever since my father disappeared. He's a crest scholar.
Ah, elle veut ton emblème. Enfin, il veut ton emblème.
The crest that my father bore and was passed down to me. It was Maurice's crest.
Maurice?
Yes. It's also known as the crest of the beast.
Oh, jure, elle se transformant. C'est une laguse.
There were once 12 heroes who saved Fodlan. There was the King of Liberation, Nemesis, the 10 elites, and finally, Maurice. One day, Maurice suddenly transformed into a hideous beast and slaughtered innocent people.
Oh
It was
no.
like when Miklon of House Gautier turned into a black beast. The negative energy dwelling within his crest turned Maurice into a monster. The people of Fodlan grew to despise him, and he was stripped of his honor. His whole clan was conquered, and it was believed that his bloodline had vanished. But even now, there exists a few descendants who have inherited Maurice's crest
Jure?
and his curse. My family line is one of them. Maurice's crest is a symbol of disaster. Anyone who comes in contact with it is met with great misfortune. Those who carry the crest become beasts at night and slaughter innocent people.
D'accord.
Yes, the rumor about the wandering beast in the woods.
Ok.
People are saying the
Putain, il fait
creature
déjà
is similar
sombre,
in
c'est terrible.
appearance to Maurice's bestial form. That may be true, but
Mais t'inquiète, Marianne a indirectement causé la guerre. Oh, je pense qu'elle est... C'est tellement un grand dommage collatéral.
Thank you. But, promise you won't tell anyone about my crest?
Bien sûr.
I'm sorry to have to ask, but thank you.
Pas de souci.
Are you really the wandering beast that people talk about?
Do you bear our crest? For what purpose did you come here?
Our crest? Does that mean...
It appears that your presence has been detected by bloodthirsty demonic beasts.
Go faire ça, on lui laisse 25... Et puis, si elle crit, elle crit. Elle crit. Si elle crit, elle crit. Et bah bordel. Et bah bordel. Et bah bordel. Waouh. Oh les dégâts de zinzin que je lui ai mis. Ah bon putain, tout ça pour ça. Ah oui.
Well done. Finally, this nightmare of 1,000 years is at its end.
Crit à plus de 20% de garantie. L'épée. Mais ouais, écoute, si elle crit, elle crit, hein. C'est comme ça, hein. Moi je tue des bêtes jusqu'à avoir puisé mes escouades puis je tue le boss. Ah ouais.
I'm sorry.
You again?
I heard rumor that the wandering beast was slain. Do you really believe that frees you of suspicion? Without proof that it was slain, the argument that you are not a beast does not stand. Furthermore, Huh? Oh, that sword!
When the wandering beast was defeated,
quelle épée?
This sword.
It's
Jean-Marianne, c'est à l'épée.
Carved into that sword's crest stone is Maurice's crest. But how would the lost magic blade end up with the wandering beast? According to what I know of Maurice's story, he didn't let go of the sword until the very end. That must mean... I see. So that's what happened. My apologies. It seems I was mistaken. I must be going.
Bah bien sûr, je dois t'en aller.
So the wandering beast was...
C'était Maurice. Un porteur quelconque de l'emblème de la bête.
He was roaming the dark woods for over 1,000 years, suffering for his murderous past.
Enfin, ses souffrances en le tuant.
And because of that, I feel as though my curse has been lifted.
Je t'ai harcelé toute ta vie, mais c'était une erreur, bye. Bah écoute, au moins il se barre. Au moins il se barre, tu vois. Ah, je te confirme, oui. Vu la map, je te confirme. Vu la map, je te confirme que t'aurais pas pu le faire toute seule. Hein?
May I help you, Sedith?
Finally noticed me, I see. Good to see that you are so dedicated to your training.
Do you have need of my sword?
No, this is not a military matter. I would like to discuss the distance you seem to be keeping from the others.
Distance? I don't follow.
I have noticed that you like to keep others at arm's length, and in most cases, quite a bit further.
Keeping a close eye on me. They don't share my values, that's all.
Is that why you train alone? Because your friends do not share your values?
You seem displeased. I suppose you're going to tell me, to defeat your enemies, you must have dependable allies.
That's not exactly how I would phrase it, but having good relationships with your allies is essential in combat. I am sure you realize that it is easier to bond with people when you interact with them more. There are limits to what one person can do alone. Great things cannot be achieved without allies.
You sound like my father. You're saying it's in my own interest to make friends?
To put it simply, yes. As much as you possibly can. To be honest, I envy you. Because I know what it is like to not have many people to call friends.
Ah.
I wouldn't have guessed that. There are so many devout believers.
I am talking about friends. People to speak with on equal terms. You have many friends here. You should take care to attend to them.
Oh bah, moi je le fais à sa place, hein, t'inquiète. Hein.
But I'm not usually one to change my mind.
To be young.
Alors, je suis quasiment sûr qu'il a pas dit ça en anglais.
Praying, Father?
Yes. Praying is all I can do. For I am at fault for each death upon the cursed plain of Dusker.
You keep saying it's your fault, Father, but you're wrong. His Highness doesn't blame you. Neither does King Lambert, I'm sure of it. But I guess that's not the issue for you, is it?
It was my duty to protect the royal family. I should have given my life to protect the king, even if His Highness has forgiven me. My knightly vows are still broken. My knighthood is lost.
That's obvious from looking at you, Father. I think Mother understood it as well. But before fleeing the country, I wish you had thought about your family. If only for a moment. Even if the whole world had condemned you. We would always have been your allies.
I am sorry, Annette.
No, I told you before. I don't particularly want you to apologize.
Annette.
Yes, Father?
Take this.
Take this!
A bundle
Attention,
of
il va
letters.
la F-smash.
There are so many.
Look inside and you will understand. Should the contents make you sad, please burn them.
Father! For the love of... He's done it again. But what have we here? Just as I thought. Letters for me and Mother. And so many. But why? And how? I suppose I'll have to read them if I hope to find my answers.
Et c'est dans le dernier support, j'imagine?
Ingrid, are you familiar with the story of the King of Liberation and the 10 elites of Fodlan?
Of course.
Les petits braves.
They were the heroes who struck down evil with the power of the sacred weapons, protecting our land and people. Their strength was passed down through the ages, manifesting itself in the crest some of us are born with.
Yes, the 10 elites certainly possessed great power. But does that make them worthy of worship?
I imagine you ask because they later fought amongst themselves, turning on one another, ravaging the land.
Precisely. Initially, Nemesis and the 10 elites worked together to bring peace to Fodlan. But soon their ambitions got the best of them, and they clashed, using their sacred weapons on anyone they chose, strong and weak alike. What I mean to say is, possessing strength alone does not make one worthy of respect. Rather, one should be judged by how they choose to use that strength.
Yes, I agree.
If you follow that logic, then you will see it also applies to those who are born with crests. Now think of how your father wishes to wed you to another family's fortune on the basis of your crest.
Yes? What of it?
These are purely inherited qualities. Is it not foolish to judge a person's value by some inherited fortune? That is all a crest is, really.
That's what I think too. Having a crest or not has no bearing on your worth as a person.
I understand that Count Galatea believes he has the right to manage your affairs. I am certain he has his own share of problems. And I do not wish to meddle or lay blame. But if there is anything I should like to say to his daughter, it is this. How you live your life is up to you.
Thank you for your counsel and wisdom, Sedith. I've been thinking a lot lately about what might happen after the war. I will take some time to reflect on what lies ahead. My future.
C'est le dernier?
You're safe. I'm so relieved.
I was just on a mission. What's gotten into you?
I'm sorry. I've been thinking about the last time we talked. About our paths diverging. I've been a little afraid since then. Afraid that you might quit the Knights.
The terrible Thunder Catherine. Afraid? I thought you weren't afraid of anything.
I kind of thought so too. I realized that I might actually lose you someday, and that's scarier than I expected. I've never felt this way about anyone other than Lady Rhea.
You seem very passionate about this.
I guess so. I have many brothers and sisters in arms, but you're my only partner. I know you have my back, so I can focus on the battle in front of me.
I see. Catherine, I have to tell you something.
Uh-huh.
I lost my first partner.
Ah.
Which is why I can make no guarantees that this will last forever. But I want you to know, there's no one I would rather have at my side. I could never sever my bond with you. If there ever comes a day when our paths do diverge, know that I'll always be with you.
Thank you. I lost someone too. I thought we'd be together forever, but our lives went in different directions. Relationships are so fragile.
Of course.
J'ai bien fait de le mentionner.
But that's enough of that. I can't stand any more of your vulnerable side.
Ah, sorry, partner. Hope I didn't worry you. I lost hold of myself there.
No need to apologize. It's what partners are for. If you'd like, we can start planning our next move.
Next move? What do you mean?
We can wed if you're that worried about losing me. Though, I may tire of your company.
Quoi?
You look a bit red. What's the matter, partner?
That was just unexpected. If you'll excuse me, I need some...
Ah! Ouais! J'ai un support, je le fais.
Goddess, please allow His Majesty to rest in peace. Who is it? Oh, Professor. What brings you here at this hour? I am most sorry for disturbing you. The hour is late, Professor. You should be resting in preparation for the day to come. I was offering my prayers to the goddess. It is all that I can do now. I told you I was in service of the royal family, yes? When I was only a young soldier, the king saw fit to make a knight of me. I was given the great honor of guiding and protecting the royal family. It was similar to your own work. I was a teacher of sorts. I instructed both King Lambert and Prince Dimitri in the arts of combat, tactics, and academia. I also did all in my power to keep them safe. Until that day.
Ah bah oui.
I was unable to fulfill my duty. I was powerless. Yes. When I received word of the attack, it was already too late. His Majesty was dead, along with many knights and soldiers. If only I had made it to Duscur more quickly. It is my fault that His Highness Dimitri has become the way he is now. After that, I abandoned my wife and child and fled my homeland. I turned my back on everything I swore to protect. My sins
ouais, il a des
countless.
regrets de
I will
zinzin.
bear the weight of my guilt for as long as I live.
Vous y prenez mal.
Apologizing to my daughter and wife, devoting myself to His Highness. That is the way to atonement. And yet, even if I am granted the forgiveness of those who still live, praying is all I can do to atone to those who are with us no more. Long ago, there was someone who told me something quite similar.
Qui ça?
Forgive me. This will not do. As I grow older, I find myself talking endlessly about the past. But it is too late for such things now. I have finished my prayers. We should return.
Ça va être des full potes de zinzin.
Sylvain.
Oui. Ou pas.
Hey, Felix. I'm glad you're safe.
You irresponsible fool! Protecting me like that? You're so weak and yet you always...
Ah, il s'est blessé?
It doesn't matter. As long as you're safe. You can go on living, while I...
Stop kidding around! You're not going to die. I won't let you!
Nah, I won't die on you, I promise. You think something like this could kill me? No way. A little magic will take care of the wound. Some bed rest, then I'm good to go out and do it all over again.
Sylvain?
Oh, come on, that was funny. It's not like you to be so concerned.
You really are a fool. The biggest in all of Fodlan. I thought something was off. There's no way you could die from such a small cut. You're so reckless and inattentive. I thought this might be divine punishment.
Hey, that's not nice. You should be thanking me.
I am grateful. You've been doing this since we were children. Constantly fooling around, but then showing up and helping when we really need you. I'll admit, seeing that smile on your face, I almost want to give you a hug. Almost.
Uh-huh.
A hug? Did you get hit on the head? Come on. Tell me you want to hug me again. I liked it.
I won't be repeating it, you half-wit. You're obviously fine, so I'll leave now.
You know how we grew up together?
Obviously.
Do you remember the promise we made when we were kids? About sticking together until we die together?
I remember.
Well, I'm really not trying to get myself killed before you. You know that, right?
I know. But I'm tired of these close calls. You have to stop fooling around. Take your training more seriously. You can die whenever you please, but I'm not going down with you.
Okay, I get it. Once I've healed, I'll get my act together.
Then I hope you have a speedy recovery. Sylvain, thank you.
That's what friends are for, Felix.
J'avais pas envie de voir Félix rougir, mais ok. Ah, mais bien sûr, je veux savoir comment va Shamir.
It's been 10 years. Can I move on yet?
Ah, son partenaire?
Never mind. I know what you'd say.
Que faites-vous ici? Non.
In a sense, someone who's long since passed. Another mercenary I fought alongside.
D'accord, c'est son partenaire.
They were killed 10 years ago when Dagda was in conflict with the Empire. It's all I can focus on lately. To be honest, I blame you. I'm just teasing. I know it's not your fault. You just remind me of him. You give off a similar air. It's uncanny. You even have the same inflection, which makes no sense because we only ever spoke Dagdan. I don't know what it is, but you feel the same to me. I guess you just remind me of the past. Please, it's not your fault. It's my fault for getting caught up in memories. Still, you always remember your first love, right? That's enough of that. There are more relevant topics to discuss. Good question. The world is completely open to me. Your next move seems apparent. But who knows where I'll end up. Though I may have done enough traveling for one lifetime. I like the idea of having a permanent home. And after all my time here, I've grown quite fond of Fodlan.
Hello, Father. May I have a moment?
J'ai forcé, enfin j'ai farmé pour Fire Emblem. J'ai envie de
I
dire.
read all your letters. You never stopped writing them, did you? My birthday, Mother's birthday, every possible occasion, without fail.
Yes.
So
Vas-y, salut, Zwei. À la prochaine, peut-être. Sympa de t'avoir eu.
Each time I thought to send one, I could not do so. Such behavior belittled my penance. Time passed, and with it my feelings of
Écoute,
guilt
j'ai mon
mother grew. Even though I wrote the letters,
j'ai mon comment dire.
Could not send them.
I would always talk about it with Mother.
J'ai mon guide du poisson.
At least once, we'd say. We waited and waited. All those long years.
Donc c'est bon.
I am sorry.
I'm tired of hearing it, so just stop. Your apologies change nothing.
Gilbert, bah bien sûr.
Send those letters to Mother. She'll be happy to hear from you.
I cannot.
Mais si tu peux.
In that case, why don't I send them?
I have given them to you. They are yours to do with as you wish.
All right then. I'll send them. You don't get to take it back afterwards. Father, you should know that they made me happy.
Happy?
Knowing that you were thinking of us all along. We were worried about you, Mother and I. Neither of us ever came out and
Worried
said it, but
turned into mort d'inquiétude.
you hated us. We're trying to forget all about us.
Never. I swear it on His late Majesty and on my homeland.
I see. All right. Then swear. Swear that someday, when this war is over, you'll come back to us.
I hear you, Annette. I will return without fail.
No matter what. That's a promise you just made. If you break it, I'll never speak to you again.
Yes, I promise.
Bah voilà.
Great.
Je pouvais pas ne pas faire ce support.
I can't wait until we're all a family again.
I look forward to it, Annette. More than anything.
Et voilà.
Brother!
Flame, is something the matter?
I thought I made it clear that I do not want you meddling in the affairs of me and my friends.
I am not quite sure what you are referring to, but I promise you I would never try to stand in your way.
It has come to my attention that you have been running about asking people what they think of me. Asking everyone.
Well, of course I have. It took me quite some time. But for you, it was well worth the effort. I was able to confirm that you are getting along well with everyone. It was very reassuring.
I cannot emphasize enough how embarrassed I was when I found out. And you have caused such a stir for those whom you questioned. Why, one person even said he feared for his life when you cornered him in the dining hall.
The dining hall? Ah, I know the fellow you are referring to. Yes, I've seen the way he looks at you. I recognized in an instant that he had impure feelings for you. As your brother, I took it upon myself to test his resolve. I merely asked him if he was prepared to lay his life on the line for my beloved sister.
He is nothing more than a friend. Kindly
Oh non!
out of my social business.
Elle a friends.
I am happy to see that you are making friends, but you should weigh your options more carefully.
Who I befriend is absolutely none of your business. Do you know what they call people like you? Overprotective meddlers. I am no longer a child. Are you incapable of trusting me, even a little?
Of course I trust you, but as an elder brother, I have a certain responsibility.
As my brother?
Obviously.
Oh, never mind it. If you'll excuse me.
Bah, en fait, le truc, c'est que on sait qu'ils sont pas frères et sœurs. Du coup, pourquoi ils font genre quand ils sont tous les deux ensemble, genre? Après Village, je sais pas, mais avec les élèves, si c'est tous les quatre, t'as une avec...
Having received the Kingdom Army's plea for aid, Rodrigue has agreed to provide soldiers. In order to meet up with their reinforcements, the Kingdom Army sets out for Elel, the Valley of Torment.
This valley isn't a place I'd care to return to.
After the chilliness of Fargus, I can't seem to adjust to this extreme heat.
Historically, there have been battles whose outcomes were determined in part by the climate. You can't argue that this heat isn't a factor.
In conditions like these, who knows what will become of our morale.
Professor, be honest. How are you holding up?
J'en peux plus.
Monks once used this area as an ascetic training ground because of the intense environment. They say Aelel was born of the goddess's rage.
La colère de la déesse.
If you believe the legends, this valley is evidence of the goddess's judgment, passed on humanity for its corruption. The forest that once covered the surrounding area was burnt to ash by a pillar of light that descended from the heavens. That legend fueled belief in a place of torment between our world and the next, where one's sins are purified in the cleansing.
D'accord, donc c'est la légende que Marianne parlait.
Not so easily washed away.
Indeed, and there are no accounts of such a place in Scripture. Yet those who cannot face their own sins have no choice but to cling to the idea.
I just don't think I can take this heat anymore. I think I'm starting to see things. Near those mountains over there. Is it just me? Or is there a group of people gathered there?
No. It would seem you are not hallucinating after all. Are those Rodriguez soldiers? No. But their banner is that of...
Ah ouais, y a du monde, je crois.
Can't be.
That is House Rose banner. They curried favor with that witch and sold out Fargus.
That witch!
We messed up. There must have been a spy among us. Will you have us meet them in battle? Or wait for
Rodriguez? On leur casse sa gueule. Il va nous voler l'XP après.
There's only one option. How kind of them to save us the trouble of killing them later. Never call those traitors our allies again.
Okay, pardon.
Belongs to the Grey Lion. It's a waste of breath to exchange words with one such as him.
His Highness is correct. He is not an opponent whom we can expect to negotiate with.
D'accord.
Everyone, prepare for the attack.
Ok. Map des plus classiques.
The Valley of Torment. Perhaps a good place to finish off my life as a knight. Only if that puny force of children is able to kill me, of course.
That man who raises the lion's flag, Lord Gwendol. He is an elder knight who serves House Rogue. Gwendol would, without thought, fight any battle if ordered. There is no chance of negotiating with him.
Ça marche.
Aelel is a deadly place. Flames burst from the ground with no warning. Sane people usually avoid it.
Ouais, je l'ai déjà vu.
So the flames of torment burn your sins, your life, your everything. If you wish to spare yourself the goddess's wrath, tread lightly.
Oh. Ouais, hein. Forcément. Logique.
It had to be done.
Voilà, 30 de précision là. Il a fait un petit kamehameha là. Viens donc, hein. Oh mais attends, je le tue pas là. Ah si c'est.
This could turn the tides.
Si, c'est bon, je le tue.
I'm stronger than before.
Hop, Flame qui prend aussi.
They say it's...
Aïe. Ah, il touche pas là. Ouais, vénère. prends pas de coup. Hop, voilà. T'as donné l'épée à Marianne? Normalement, ouais. Comme ceci. Hop.
All for our feet.
Lance x2, y'a pas de soucis. Ah bah voilà. Elle a mis une critique à 10, Ingrid. Hein. Hop. Voilà. Tu misses, bien sûr. Voilà. Pas fou, mais on prend. Écoute, moi j'ai pas le temps. Il y a Marianne à côté, elle soignera. Ok. Ah, ça avance comme ça. Ah, ça avance comme ça. Avancez. Hein. Avancez. Hein.
I was just stronger.
Tiens, vas-y, un petit arc magique en vif là. Petit critique. Ça me mettrait très bien personnellement. Mais bon, en fait, si tu veux pas, tu peux pas. Pas grave, c'est pas grave. Petit arc magique contre des soldats là, ça me mettrait très bien. Bon, tant pis. Hop. Voilà. Épée orage aussi. Vas-y, go, Soros. Voilà. Hop. Ah putain, je tue pas.
Next.
J'arrive, tu cries. Putain, t'as château. Ah, mais tu me connais pas là. Tu connais pas ma run. Bah. Voilà. C'est plutôt normal dans cette run. Ah, vraiment, les critiques, c'est assez normal dans cette run. Hein. On va pas se mentir. Hein. Ah, regarde. Hein, 13% de chance. Ouah, je crit quand même. Je crit quand même. Tu vois, y a pas de. Allez, soyons fous. À l'épée. Incroyable. Incroyable l'épée de Marianne. Quel acrobat ce cheval. Ah bah oui. T'aurais pu faire ça avant? J'aurais préféré que tu fasses ça avant. Hein. Y'a comment dire. Y'a Marianne. Y'a Marianne pas loin. Et de toute façon il crie pas en face donc
All for our future.
Hop, le level 35.
I sense an improvement.
Là, tu vois, c'est bon. Ah bon? Bah, c'est vaincre le boss, le truc. Le bail, c'est vaincre le boss quand même. Le bail c'est vaincre le boss, on est d'accord. Hein. On peut essayer de tuer. On peut essayer de critique. Allez, le critique. Ah, suffit de croire au critique dans cette run. Suffit de croire au critique dans cette run. Il suffit d'y croire. Voilà, je fais ça, je pense aux critiques, et tout va bien. Voilà. Voilà. Ah là là. Quelle force. C'est bien qui a passé par là. Je ne sais pas pourquoi vous avancez. Mais vous êtes très chiant, ça c'est sûr et certain. Ça c'est sûr et certain, vous me cassez les couilles. Quoi? Ouais, voilà, t'as un arrêt de pute. Voilà. Oh, bâtard. Ah!
So Cornelia has planted spies even inside Garreg Mach.
The shield of Fargus has appeared. We can expect more out of him than the young ones.
On va voir l'autre côté. Hop.
Each battle a victory.
Hop, lance à silence. La c'est parti.
My duty is your death.
Ah, ça vient attaquer, ok. Oh, ça vient tuer en fait.
You fought well.
Ok.
Guess I need to train harder.
Bon, on va soigner après. Heureusement qu'ils ont pas de crit, hein. Ah, je le... D'accord. Ouais, pas facile là. Faudra encore reculer, mais toi, tu tapes genre comme ça et après tu t'en vas.
Stay down.
Le fait qu'il bouge, c'est très chiant. Là.
I shall not stray.
Et je pense qu'il va falloir encore 2 tours. Donc le problème c'est que là... Ok, bah putain. Tu peux pas juste ouvrir le coffre, elle a pas de coffre, elle a pas de clé. Donc bah c'est chiant. Elle a pas de clé. Comment je fais pour ouvrir le coffre avec Ingrid si elle a pas de clé? C'est bon, il va pas me prendre XP, ça me va. Ouais, bah allez, allez. Oh bah, I'll destroy you, hein. Bah tu forces. Bah elle a pas de clé, qu'est-ce que tu veux que je te dise, moi? Ah, tout ça pour ça? Ah ouais. Le démon étant moi, je vous l'avoue. Hop.
It is done. Onward.
Déjà, Mercedes va proposer le kill sur ça là. Hop, voilà.
A tragic end.
Hop. Comme ceci.
Does a whelp like you really expect to kill me?
Bah ouais.
I am Gwendol, the Grey Lion, a knight by the hand of Count Rowe. Do your worst.
Ouais, si tu veux, mais enfin là il y a une chance que je te crit et que t'es mort quoi, donc heureusement pour toi je t'ai pas crit. Oui, j'ai mis Marianne chevalier sacré. Bon, au pire t'esquives. Voilà. Hop.
So I have found a place to die. Young ones, I thank you.
Ok. J'ai tué un mec pas méchant. Enfin... C'est une guerre.
It is the way of knights to follow their master's orders without argument. Lord Gwendol was a good man.
Now he is just a corpse, nothing more. Let's go. Rodrigue is waiting for us.
Ouais, embuscade à LL.
It's been too long, Your Highness. But try to temper your joy, will you? This is a war after all.
To say such a thing at a time like this. You have not changed one bit.
Don't let looks deceive you. I've had a rough go of it ever since I crossed blades with those traitors in Ferdiad. When I heard you'd been executed, I rushed there as fast as I could, blind with fury. When I got there, I was fed some garbage about not being able to see your body. The next thing I knew, I was gripping my blade and... Gilbert, you have done well to locate His Highness. I am truly grateful. And you, I have you to thank as well.
Je fais que mon devoir.
We are in your debt.
Pas de professeur, non.
Someday,
mais je suis un mercenaire à la base. Hein.
And you, Felix, you have also done well to bring His Highness here.
Tell us all you know, Rodrigue.
I'm afraid there's not much to tell. You are aware that the western region of the kingdom was taken by the Empire, correct?
Yes, so I have heard. They are now calling it the Fargus Dukedom, or some nonsense.
If you know that much, then the rest won't take long. Enemy or not, it's undeniable that Cornelia's plan was nothing short of genius. After seizing power, she invited the Imperial Army to Ferdiad. There she reorganized her troops, and then sent soldiers to hunt me down. Because of that, we were forced to act defensively, and now we're being forced into a difficult battle. She's been controlling the situation all along.
So that's been the witch's plan from the start. I should have killed her ages ago.
Your Highness, Ferdiad is in a terrible state right now. The tyranny is unbearable, and so the rebellions are endless. Refugees starve to death in the streets. If I may speak freely, Your Highness, we should change course for Ferdiad and take down those traitors before we embark to Enbar.
There's no time for that. We must annihilate Enbar before all else.
Think this through. I understand wanting to destroy the Empire and the Emperor. I want that so much it hurts. But which is more important, the dead or the living?
Silence!
No, Dmitri. You will hear me out.
Are you asking me? Asking the dead to forgive that woman?
No, I would not ask that of you. What I am asking is that you allow us to prioritize the kingdom capital over the
Imperial capital for now. Rodrigue, Big Chad.
As close and trusted friend, I am confident that he would have advised the same.
Do not dare to put words in the mouths of the dead. They are your words alone, even if you borrowed their lips. Until I offer up that woman's head, Father will remain a slave to his lingering regret and hatred. Even now, he suffers. It is ceaseless. As we waste time with idle chatter, his suffering continues.
You are my king. Our king. Wherever you lead, we will follow. But Your Highness, there are those who take up their sword in the name of revenge and yet along the way lose the strength and composure to follow through. You would do well to bear that in mind. Ah, I nearly forgot. Take this, Your Highness. The time has come for it to be wielded by its true master.
Very far. The hero's relic once wielded
Je connais, c'est Smash, Fire, Bear, je connais ça, hein. Side aussi.
Understated as ever, Father. It must have been a true struggle to get it back.
I am grateful, my friend.
Gilbert, Professor.
Oh.
May I request something of
il se fait engueuler et il est là en mode merci.
Senile already, old man. Who will protect our territory?
I expected it would come to this, so I left those matters to my younger brother. He has my complete faith. I must keep my promise to our fallen king, to my dear friend. A very old one. I swore it nearly 10 years ago. Now then, Your Highness, let's destroy the Empire together. My men and I will spare no effort. I pray that you are right, and that this will save the kingdom.
Arrête bar. Arrête Bah... La lance de Smash Bros.
Our orders are to capture Enbar by striking the enemy's stronghold directly. How familiar are you with the geography?
Donc on commence bien par Enbar. Pas vraiment.
The kingdom and the empire are separated by the impassable Ogma Mountains. Legend has it that Saint Seros once crossed over those mountains to fight against the fell king Nemesis. But don't fool yourself. Leading a large army over such steep mountains would be near impossible.
In order to infiltrate the Empire, we have no choice but to go around the mountains, either to the east or to the west.
West?
I believe that may be difficult. After all, the western region.
Ok, on va aller par l'est, alors me donne pas le choix.
Perhaps we should consider going east, using the route that passes through Alliance territory.
The Alliance is currently split in two. Those who stand with the Empire and those who are against it. Leading the Imperial faction is House Gloucester, while House Regan leads those who oppose. We should take advantage of their internal conflict and proceed east along the mountains until we reach the Great Bridge of Myrden in Alliance territory.
D'accord.
The Aramid River divides Alliance and Empire territory. There are many large bridges that cross it. However, the Great Bridge of Myrden is by far the largest, and it is also closest to the monastery. I believe you crossed that bridge 5 years ago on your journey to the Battle of the Eagle and Lion.
L'Alliance attaque pas, mais...
It's a possibility, but it's still more practical than passing through the west.
Perhaps our next move should be to contact House Regan and request their cooperation. Claude of House Regan is the leader of the Alliance and is firmly against the Empire. They are the enemy of our enemy. In other words, hopefully, a friend.
Are you suggesting that we ask House Regan to engage the Gloucester soldiers?
I am. If we take the bridge, then House Gloucester will no longer be able to receive support from the Empire. There's no way a man as wise as Claude would refuse our request.
And once we manage to capture the Great Bridge and gain a foothold into the Empire,
then we cross Gronder Field and head south toward Enbar.
But if we get attacked from both sides, we'll have to fight people from the Alliance, won't we?
Speaking of House Gloucester, I wonder how Lawrence is holding up.
If we meet him again, it will probably be as enemies. To be honest, I'd rather avoid seeing him altogether.
If you do not wish to kill familiar faces, do not tarry over the corpses of the dead.
Good advice.
Et pourquoi on attaquerait l'Alliance?
Prepare yourselves. It is time to steal your souls for the task at hand.
Pourquoi on attaquerait l'Alliance? Ça, ce serait bête.